everyone, welcome back to my channel. Mother Gamer here, doing a special video. I'm doing a Sims 4 build instead of actually gameplay. I wanted to just kind of do some builds just so that I can do a little bit different videos and so I don't get too burned out on doing the same thing over and over again. Alright, let's get into this build. So I built my childhood home that I had lived in from the time I was born until I moved out for college. And of course it was still my home until I basically had a permanent residence. Also until my mom tore it down when she built her new house. I just kind of wanted to do this mostly for nostalgia's sake and just for fun. I like building things that kind of already exist in my life and doing as close as possible as I can, which doesn't happen all the time. So I built the outer shell as best as I can. When I do builds, a lot of the time I have to put in furniture so that I kind of know how big the rooms have to be, and I'm not good at guessing if there's no furniture in them, honestly. But one of my favorite things about my childhood home was the staircase that we had, and it was both one of my favorite things and one of the most horrifying things in my whole life, because I have a severe fear of falling, which is kind of hilarious given that I did a lot of weird stuff in band and things like that. But I do have a severe fear of falling, and so these stairs, you could see all the way through them, but they were kind of weird because they were in this like little nook in the corner. And originally when the house was built, not when my parents or I ever lived in it, but when it was originally built, I think it was in like the 1920s, and my mom can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the original part of the house was in the 1920s, which was basically the living room, kitchen, and that like little hall area that you'll see, and basically to the wall of the steps. So it was a really tiny house when it was originally built. And then the people who owned it before us added on the bedrooms in the back and the master suite bathroom. I'm not sure when that was. I think the 70s, but I'm really not sure. I don't even know where I was going with that. So it was kind of a really weirdly laid out house, and that's kind of one of the things that I really liked about it. It was just really something special. It wasn't something that you see all the time. So this roof line also is kind of weird if you notice. We had like an attic space, but you can't do really like attic space in The Sims 4 where like the roof is part of the wall, which is what it was in the house. My bedroom at the end of my living there was in the attic, and it was a big room, but it was very short because it was like right up in the ceiling, in the roof. And so my roof looks really weird because in real life it was just a nice like even slope all the way to the top of the like the first floor there, and I couldn't really do that because I couldn't put stuff underneath the roof really, so it looks real wonky and weird, but whatever, we make do. So right now I'm just putting in like the flooring and the like walls. One thing that was really weird about this house also is that literally every single room had like some accent wall of wallpaper, and I don't know where it went. Oh, so you'll see later on that I put a little yellow patterned wall, and that was my sister and my room when I was younger, before I moved upstairs, which was actually my brother's room when we all three lived there. But we had a little yellow wall and like blue No, man, I did that totally wrong. We had a blue wall and everything else was yellow, but whatever, it's fine. That's how bad my memory is nowadays. But but when I go back in there, my accent wall in both my mom's room and our room, or my sister's room rather, like disappear. So that's a Sims 4 issue, to be honest, because of when a wall is already colored, like just an accent wall, you have to go through manually and color all of the rest of the walls, but that's whatever. So up front it's a hydrangea in The Sims 4, but my mom had this beautiful rhododendron bush right up front in this bay window that we had in the living room, and it was actually pink, not blue, but that was the closest thing I could get to look like it. And it's one of my favorite like features of the house. And like when I think about my mom's house or my childhood home, that's one of the things I think about is that rhododendron, because it was always something like it was always blooming, always had bees around it. One year when I was little, I found a snake in it. Nobody believed me, but that's fine. Yeah, so I'm doing some like kind of tree things that are similar to what she has. Her property is much bigger than what this is, so it's really hard to get kind of an accurate thing, but I didn't really want to like worry about the property so much because she owns over an acre of land. And I just wanted to do the house more than like everything. So here I'm working on the living room. So the first time when you walk into the house, it was the living room, and this like it was opened into the we turned it into like a computer area, but it like opened up farther to the left, and it was completely open to the kitchen except for like a little half wall dividing the living room. Not half wall, but like half. It wasn't a half wall, but it was a wall, but it wasn't like completely enclosed in the rooms. But it divided the kitchen and the living room. And this is just me like messing around with stuff and sizing stuff. Like I said, it's not exactly the way that it was, because you can't get it that way at all. Like you can't. Maybe someone else who's a better builder than me could do it, but I doubt it because of all of the strange little nooks and crannies. And this is me messing with couches because my mom actually had a sectional, which you can see in the background of my videos half the time that my cats are on it. And they don't have sectionals in The Sims 4. Actually, the couches are like really terrible to choose from, to be quite honest. Like The Sims 4 is really more about building and things like that, but we still don't have a whole lot of choices in things that are really realistic or even particularly good looking, or like, I don't know, there's nothing that's like, I don't know, old-fashioned-y or like kind of country-ish, or something like that. I don't know. So I'm just putting up the curtains right now. I don't remember half of what the curtains looked like in most of the rooms because like I said, I hadn't lived there for several years. It was something that I came back home to after like breaks and stuff for college, but even then, whatever. And I'll explain that bathroom in a second. That was the upstairs. I'll kind of explain that when we go through there. And there's a little computer area. We had this like closet thing that my grandparents gave us for the computer, and it was kind of built like that, and it had this like these like doors on it. And under the stairs is what I'm doing right now, and it looks really weird, but under the stairs was kind of like a Harry Potter kind of situation, but not really. Like we had this like little storage area with like a little like a little hole, like it was like a really miniature archway or something that we could just store stuff back in there. So I had a really hard time like figuring out how I wanted to do that, and so I put up those like dine out things, which are really weird looking in there, but it is what it is. Whatever. So that's the living room area, pretty much done. Now I'm gonna work on the kitchen. Our kitchen was like small, but also like kind of easy to like maneuver around, if that makes any sense. And I'm putting up like cabinets above the countertops. We had this like little island, as you can see, that I put right there, that kind of divided the kitchen area from the dining area, and then we had like all of these cabinets up above, and actually above the island at the very end was where our microwave was, but they don't have the ability to put a microwave above anything. Hey, EA, you should do that, because that's a really needed thing, I think. So you'll see me in a second. I mess around with the microwave for way too long, trying to get it to fit in there and turn the right way and like be against the wall, but it wasn't working because I still really don't know how to build well. So I just decided to put it over there in the corner and leave it. It's really not at all like the way that it was in my childhood home, but it is what it is for The Sims 4. And then we had our dining table was kind of like smashed up against the wall most of the time, and the chairs were behind it when we smashed it up against the wall, because most of the time not all of us were there. At most, normally it would just be my mom, me, and my sister, and then once I had met my husband, maybe he would be over too. Obviously when I met my husband, we weren't married. I know, shocker. But so I just pushed the table up against the wall and added chairs around it, just to make it kind of functional. I really don't know how functional all of the things are. I didn't play test it, so I'm sure there's going to be some things that aren't going to work. But she did make it through this, so that's plus. What I'm doing here is actually in the real house, there was like a little bit of like a thicker wall along the hallway, and the hallway was super thin, but there were like these beautiful built-in shelves along the wall, which I always just absolutely loved. And my house doesn't have like any shelving whatsoever, and it drives me crazy. But that's for another time. So right now I'm working on the like main bathroom, and this bathroom was actually redone when we lived in there before it was redone. It was this really strange bathroom. Like, it was this, where the door is there, it actually led to like a hallway, and then the door to the bathroom was on the left, like right in front of kind of where the tub is. The tub wasn't there, it was like on the other side, where the sink is. And it was really cramped and stuff. And my mom's ex-boyfriend completely redid it. Not while they were exes, they were still dating, but completely redid it. It was beautiful. And did a really great job. That's really the closest room that I did, to be honest. Yeah. And these two lights on the wall in the dining room were some of the weirdest lights ever. They were dimmer lights, so we always, like, for holiday dinners and stuff, we'd always like set them really low for like mood lighting and light candles and play music. So normal stuff, right? Yeah, and so I'm just looking for like kind of things to hang up and put up in the kitchen that were kind of similar. That painting over by the back door actually is representative of a painting I did for my mom one Christmas. I did a whole bunch of paintings for people. I'm not good at painting, so don't be like super impressed, but my family is nice enough to hang up all my paintings, so that's really nice. Also, really funny story. So that like old couple right there, like the like Victorian or whatever style couple, medieval couple. So my mom had a picture of my brother and sister-in-law there, for their wedding, and there's not like any wedding pictures or anything. So I just found that one and I put it up, so it's representative of my brother and sister-in-law's wedding. And then this little area back here, this is one of the additions that I was talking about later on that came still not while we were living there. All of this was here when we lived there. But it was this little laundry nook, and we had a random door to the outside, which I assume was like to do a clothesline, but we never had a clothesline. We always had a dryer, or we usually had a dryer. And now I'm working on my mom's bedroom. She had this like big closet to the left when you first walked into the room, and I was trying to figure out how to do that, and then I realized, oh yeah, I have these like built-in closets that I can do. So I put that in, and that room I make them bigger, but the bedrooms down there, I made them way too small. Way too small. And so here I am working on the bathroom. So her bathroom was really weird as well. It was really tiny, super tiny. So when you walked in, the toilet was like immediately to your left, then the sink, and then this like little storage, like shelving. And her shower was kind of like a walk-in shower, like a big stand-up shower, and it had a curtain like just, in front of it. And it was really hard for me to like do that because the bathroom in The Sims, in this game, it's way too big for one thing. But if I made it a block smaller, it would have been too small. So like I really wish we could put walls on the half grids. That would be really helpful. I'm not even sure what the point of the half grids are if you can't like put everything on it, but what do I know, so yeah, now I'm working on her bedroom. Her bedroom had just like a bunch of dressers and stuff in it, and her bed and a TV, and it was much bigger than this, and like I said, I'll get to it in a second, but I was trying really hard to figure this out, and I was like, this a lot of this seems right, but you know what, make it work. And then I tried to do the other bedroom, and it didn't work. So here I am. This bedroom was actually my sister's and my bedroom for a long time. While my brother still lived there, his bedroom was upstairs, and actually that bedroom was his bedroom when I was little, and then once my sister came along, then it, succession or whatever. So actually the bedroom really does have or did have a closet like that. So like when you walked in, there was like this little wall right immediately to your right in this like kind of little corner. So I tried to do that realistically as possible, but it just wouldn't work, and I wasn't going to make the room any bigger because it really wasn't that big. So I just put in that little closet there and left it as is. And my sister is notorious for like just stuff all over the wall, so you'll see me put like a bunch of random stuff, and I'll kind of explain things in a second. And she also had like 2 dressers beside her bed, things like that. So she has a bulletin board, which she does have. These shelves actually my dad built when my brother kicked a soccer ball through a window that was there, and we just put that there. And I put a little orange cat on the shelves because right now she has a cat whose name is Pearl, and she's orange, and she's evil. She's not evil, she's okay, she's just old. And then that yellow poster kind of looked like a Hufflepuff poster to me, and she's like a Hufflepuff, so not like a Hufflepuff, but she is a Hufflepuff. So I put that up. So these pictures up here too, my mom had senior pictures of all of us in her bedroom, so those 3 pictures were representative of our senior pictures, even though 2 of them are literally the same woman, but I used a different frame. I mean, people thought for the longest time that my sister and I were twins, so I mean that makes sense, right? So upstairs now, we had this little like attic space, area. And there was actually more to the house back, but like all of that was walled off, so we never got in there. It was just like the rafters and stuff. But this is where we kept like all the Christmas stuff and storage stuff and just random things. And then up here was my bedroom when I moved into that room. And my mom's ex also completely redid this room as well. And we made it really cool. I had these like really cool stripes on the walls, and those twin beds were actually the beds that my sister and I used when we were little, and I moved those up, and I made the second bed into like a couch thing to like watch TV and whatever. And then this over here is just like a little vanity, since we don't have vanities as far as I know. If we do, please tell me where they are, because I don't know. And then I put like the little makeup things on them and all of that stuff. I didn't really have a whole lot in my room because I moved in there when I was a senior in high school, so I didn't stay there very much. So yeah, and then I put a little stack of CDs and a little radio, so that was pretty cool. And I'm just trying to clutter that one more. I'm really not good at clutter. Like I get tired of doing clutter, so I'm just like, whatever. Then I'm checking out like all of the rest of the things, adding in more flowers and stuff to that. It was not working for me. When that happens, when it like won't go right up against the wall, what exactly do you do to fix that? Because I really don't know. And I've tried to find it, and I'm just dumb. I don't know. And then we had this little patio area that I put up. We had like a grill out there and whatever. And so back here is the back porch. When we lived there, it wasn't open like this, but it was originally open like that. So I did it for, for fun, because it was completely enclosed when we lived there. And it was also just like more storage stuff and whatever. So this is me going through really quickly, checking everything, every detail, which I didn't do very well anyway, because I didn't catch some stuff. But yeah, I was just checking through all of that stuff, and I missed that I changed the walls, but whatever. And then we'll get your first person view going in a second. Oh yeah, can't forget the garden hose. That's the whole thing, and here's the tour of it. Living room, sitting area. Excuse like the weird head thing, or the weird body thing. She's just my real estate agent, I don't remember what I called her. I just randomized the sim. There's my mom's bedroom, and then the bathroom. Yep, there's the random sim. Then there's my sister's room, and then the back porch and the patio area. I included hosta plants because my mom had a whole bunch of hosta plants everywhere. There's a storage area. If you notice that car, my mom has a toy box from my brother, and it was a giant car, so that's why I put that in. And also, you can get this off the gallery. My origin ID is Mother Gamer CG. You can look it up. You can download it if you want to. I don't know. It's not very good, so I don't know why you would. I've got a couple of other things up there as well. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope to do a few more builds. If you have a suggestion of what I should build, please lay them on me. I would love to try to build things, even though I'm really not very good at it. So whatever. Please subscribe, please like, please share. I love you all. Okay, thanks, bye. Also, one more thing super quickly before I leave this video. Make sure to catch my live stream on this coming Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I made it to 50 subscribers with your help, so I'm going to live stream something of your choice. And it's going to have to probably be Sims 4 or a Steam game, because The Sims 2 won't work. I tried it. Okay, thanks, bye.